Hello everyone, my name is Tasni Madime and today I would like to present about syntactic change. Syntactic change is the evolution of sentence structure of natural language. Over time, sentence change is the greatest improvement of any language. The syntactic rule relating to the English negative construction underwent a number of changes from the Old English to the present. And negation element is it usually occurred before the auxiliary verb or verb. In modern English, negation is expressed adding not or do not. We may also express negation adding words like never or no. Modern English has construction rules that change from do not into don't, will not into want, and so on. And another syntactic change in English affects the rule of comparative and superlative. For the superlative we add er, and superlative we add est. In Mollary Tales of King Arthur, written in 1470, double comparative and double superlative occur, which today are ungrammatically more catly, more lower, and most loyalist and most shameless.
Lexical change is a change in the meaning or use of word, or a generational shift in preference for one word or phrase over another. So it divides to two: additional of words and borrowings.
Additional of words is similar to the word information that we have learned before, and the meaning is the new language can enter by compounding with the old word from the old word, and then one word with have a new meaning. For example, the word modem, it's clipping by the word moderator and demodulator. And the second word is mimsy, is from the word flimsy and the word miserable. And smoke fog is from the word smoke and fog. And brilliant is the word that means for all cup in the afternoon before we go to the dinner. And this additional of words, there are many ways to make a new word with the word information that we have learned and through the derivational process. And the words in language can change by historical process, which get the new meaning in the popular and from generation to generation.
Okay, borrowing. Borrowing occurs when one language takes a word or morpheme from another language and adds it to its lexicon. Most languages are borrowers, so the lexicon can be divided into native and non-native words, often called loan words. A language may borrow a word directly or indirectly. A direct borrowing means that the borrowed item is a native word in the language from which it is borrowed. Fish was borrowed directly from French, can be traced back to Latin festa. On the other hand, the word algebra was borrowed from Spanish, which in turn had borrowed it from Arabic. Thus, algebra was indirectly borrowed from Arabic, with Spanish as an intermediary. Okay, the next borrowing from French, so such as government, prince, nation, judge. And the next borrowing from Greek, so such as autograph, drama, comedy, tragedy. And the next borrowing from Latin, such as circle, butter, wine, street. And the next borrowing from Latin, like Greek, has also provides prefix and suffix that are used productively with both native and non-native roots. The prefix "ex" comes from Latin, such as ex-husband, ex-wife, and ex-boyfriend. Yes. And then the suffix able is also Latin, borrowed via French, such as writable, movable, readable, and flexible. Yes.
Okay, now let's talk about semantic change. Semantic change is a word's meaning changes independently of its form, and it divides to three: broadening, narrowing, and meaning shift.
The first type of semantic change is broadening. Broadening is mean when a word becomes more inclusive than its earlier meaning. I will give you 3 examples of the broadening. The first example is the word business, which is originally mean the state of being busy or anxious, but when it was broadened to the meaning of on kind of works or occupation. The second example is the word holiday. At first, this word means a religious feast. Then it becomes to the name of a very general break from work or study. And the last example is a cupboard. The first meaning is table upon which cups or vessels were placed, and it was broadened to closets or cabin with shelves.
For the next part, narrowing. Narrowing is a process by which a word of wide meaning acquires a narrow or specialized sense. In other words, a word which used to have a more general sense becomes restricted in its application and conveys a special concept in present-day English. Narrowing, specialization, restriction. For example, meat, original meaning food, and meaning after narrowing flesh of animals. Number 2, disease, original meaning discomfort, and meaning after narrowing illness. Number 3, wife, original meaning women, and meaning after narrowing married women. A narrowing of meaning for economy, some phrases are shortened and only one element of the original. Usually, an adjective is left to retain the meaning of the whole. Such adjectives have thus taken on specialized meaning, such as a general equal a general officer, and editorial equals an editorial articles. Some material nouns are used to refer to objects made of them and thus have a more specific sense, such as glass, a cup-like container, or a mirror. Iron, device for smoothing clothes. We can say that narrowing takes place when a word comes to refer to only part of the original meaning. The history of the word hunt in English neatly illustrates this process. The word was originally pronounced hunt in English, and it was the generic word for any kind of dog at all. This original meaning is retained. For example, in Germany, where the word Hund simply means dog over the centuries. However, the meaning of Hund in English has become restricted to just those dogs used to chase game in the hunt, such as beagles. Words may come to be associated with particular context, which is another type of narrowing. One example of this is the word indigenous, which when applied to a people means especially the inhabitant of the country which has been colonized, not original inhabitant more generally.
A change in one of the meaning of a term is known as a meaning shift, and every word has multiple meanings and connotation. It might change throughout of time. Yeah, like the word gay. Before 1900, it only meant carefree and having a happy time. But now it refers to someone who is homosexual. And the word awful originally means impressive. In contemporary usage, the word usually has negative meaning. And the last, the word nice, it used to mean dainty, but now in a modern English it means lovely. กล่าวโดยสรุปก็คือ Syntactic change คือวิวัฒนาการของโครงสร้างประโยคของภาษาจากอดีตจนถึงปัจจุบัน ส่วน lexical change คือการเปลี่ยนแปลงในความหมายหรือมากกว่านั้นแบ่งออกเป็น2ส่วนคือ additional of word และ borrowings additional of words คือคำใหม่ที่เกิดจากการ compounding จากศัพท์เก่าและศัพท์ใหม่จนได้คำใหม่ที่มีความหมายอาจจะใช้ process ของ word choice ตาม word form ที่เราเคยเรียนมาส่วน borrowing คือการยืมคำจากภาษาอื่นหรือเรียกอีกอย่างหนึ่งว่า loan word semantic change คือการเปลี่ยนแปลงในหนึ่งในความหมายของการให้คำทุกคำที่มีความหลากหลายของความรู้สึกและความหมายซึ่งสามารถเพิ่มลบหรือเปลี่ยนแปลงเมื่อเวลาผ่านไปซึ่งประกอบไปด้วย broadening narrowing และ meaning shift broadening คือคำที่มีความหมายครอบคลุมกว่าความหมายก่อนหน้านี้ส่วน narrowing คือการตีความหมายให้แคบลงเป็นกระบวนการที่คำที่มีความหมายกว้างได้มาซึ่งความรู้สึกที่แคบหรือเฉพาะเจาะจงกล่าวอีกในหนึ่งคือคำที่เคยมีความรู้สึกทั่วไปมากขึ้นถูกจำกัดในการประยุกต์ใช้และสื่อถึงแนวคิดพิเศษในภาษาอังกฤษยุคปัจจุบันและสุดท้าย meaning shift เป็นการเปลี่ยนแปลงของความหมายจากคำตามกาลเวลาที่เปลี่ยนไปจากอดีตจนสู่ปัจจุบัน